Picture the best resort you've ever stayed at. Every room booked, waitlist out the door, 5 stars, every single review. Now here's the twist nobody sees coming. That resort might be losing money. Right now. Tonight. While it's completely full. Wait, what? Full hotel? Losing money? That doesn't even sound possible. But it happens constantly. And once you understand why, you'll never look at a sold-out sign the same way again. Here's the thing about resorts that nobody tells you before they buy one. A packed resort and a profitable resort are two completely different businesses wearing the same building. So today, we're taking apart the real economics of owning a luxury resort. The occupancy math that lies to you, the staffing nightmare hiding behind every smiling employee, and the brutal seasonal cliff that can wipe out an entire year of profit in a single slow month. And by the end of this, you're going to want to hit subscribe. Not because I'm asking nicely, but because next week we're breaking down an industry that's even more insane than this one, and you genuinely don't want to miss it. More on that in a minute. Let's get into it. Let's start with the number every resort owner obsesses over: occupancy rate. If a hotel is 100% booked, that sounds like the finish line, right? Maximum success. Every room paying you money. Here's the problem. Occupancy rate tells you nothing about profit. Nothing. It just tells you how many beds have a human in them tonight. A resort can be completely full and still lose money, because the number that actually matters isn't occupancy. It's something called RevPAR. Revenue per available room. And RevPAR gets destroyed by one thing almost every new resort owner underestimates: discounting. Because resorts don't sell every room at full price. Some rooms go through third-party booking sites that take a cut, sometimes 15, 20, even 25% commission off the top. Some rooms get sold at a discount to fill slow periods. Some go to loyalty programs, comped stays, or influencer partnerships that generate zero direct cash. So 100% full might actually mean 100% of your rooms are occupied by people who, on average, paid you a fraction of what the room is actually worth. Full hotel. Empty bank account. It happens more than you'd think. Here's something people never think about when they picture owning a resort. Every single person you see, the person checking you in, the person cleaning your room, the person carrying your bags, the chef, the lifeguard, the spa therapist, the gardener keeping those perfect tropical flowers alive. Every one of them is on payroll. A mid-size luxury resort can employ anywhere from 1 to 3 staff members per room. Not per building, per room. A 200-room resort operating at that ratio might be paying salaries for 200 to 600 employees. Every single day, whether the resort is full or half empty. And here's the part that really stings. Unlike a restaurant that can send staff home on a slow night, a resort has to maintain baseline staffing levels regardless of occupancy. You can't tell the front desk, just don't show up today, because guests are still checking in. You can't skip housekeeping because rooms still need cleaning for tomorrow's arrivals. Labor costs at luxury resorts commonly eat up 30 to 40% of total revenue. That's before food costs, before maintenance, before marketing, before literally anything else. Now let's talk about the thing that genuinely bankrupts resort owners more than almost anything else: seasonality. Most luxury resorts don't have steady, predictable demand year-round. They have a peak season where rooms sell at premium prices and waitlist form, and then they have an off-season where the same resort might sit at 20, 30, 40% occupancy for months at a time. Here's the brutal math. A resort might generate 70% of its entire annual revenue in just 3 or 4 peak months. The remaining 8 months? Barely covering costs, sometimes operating at an outright loss just to keep the doors open and the staff employed. Quick pause, because this is exactly the kind of hidden mechanic we love breaking down on this channel. If you're finding this genuinely useful, hit subscribe right now, because we do this every single week with a different industry, and honestly, Some of what's coming up later is even wilder than this. Okay, back to the resort. The owners who don't plan for this seasonal cliff make a catastrophic mistake. They spend like it's peak season all year round. Then the off-season hits, revenue craters, and they're suddenly paying full staffing costs and full maintenance costs on a fraction of the income. It's like budgeting your entire year's grocery money based on the 1 week you got a huge bonus. Eventually, reality catches up. Here's a detail almost nobody considers before buying into the resort dream. Luxury resorts exist in a permanent, expensive arms race against decay. Salt air corrodes everything near the coast. Chlorine destroys pool equipment. Constant guest turnover wears down furniture, linens, and fixtures at a rate a normal residential property never experiences. Landscaping in tropical climates requires constant, expensive maintenance just to look effortlessly beautiful. Industry estimates suggest luxury resorts typically reinvest 4 to 6% of gross revenue every single year just into property maintenance and renovation, separate from day-to-day operating costs. That's not optional spending. Skip it, and the resort's 5-star reviews turn into 3-star reviews within a couple of seasons, which then crushes future bookings. You're not just running a hotel, you're in a permanent renovation project that never actually finishes. Okay, so knowing all this, why do sophisticated investors keep buying luxury resorts? Same underlying answer as almost everything else we cover on this channel. There's real money to be made, but only for the owners who treat it as a genuine, sophisticated operating business, not a lifestyle purchase. The resorts that actually thrive obsess over yield management, dynamically pricing rooms based on real-time demand, the exact same strategy airlines use for seat pricing. They build multiple revenue streams beyond just room bookings: spa services, private events, weddings, branded retail, food and beverage margins that can be genuinely excellent when run well. Some of the smartest resort groups also build in off-season revenue specifically: corporate retreats, wellness retention programs, off-peak discounted packages targeted at entirely different customer segments than their peak season luxury travelers. The resorts that survive long-term stop thinking like hoteliers and start thinking like revenue engineers. So the next time you see a resort with a "fully booked" sign and assume the owner is swimming in money, remember what's actually happening behind that smiling front desk. The commission cuts, the staffing ratios that don't flex down, the 8 slow months funded by 4 good ones, the constant, expensive fight against decay. A full resort and a profitable resort are 2 different businesses. Only the smart owners ever figure out how to make them the same thing. If this changed how you look at your next hotel booking, hit subscribe. Seriously, right now before you forget. We're breaking down a completely different, completely wild industry next week. And if you've enjoyed this hidden costs series so far, you genuinely do not want to miss what's coming. It might be the most surprising one yet. What should we tear apart next? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. See you in the next one.